Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. You're with me, Anupama and Amaya, and we are still with Mr. Dulit Pera and Mr. Vikramasinghe. We are still talking about the National Conference of Chartered Accountants, which is going to be held from the 24th to the 26th of October in the Water's Edge, Bathramula, and we were actually doing a little rundown of the very privileged and honorable and the respected speakers that the participants are going to observe during the conference. Mr. Dulit Pera, if you
Yes. After the Innovation in Action, we will have Leading Innovation, which is basically a session that will look at creating a conducive environment, the leadership styles that you should follow in having an innovative culture.
That's important.
For that, we have a speaker all the way coming from Singapore, from a company which is leading in innovation space. And to support that, we have a chairman, a vice president of IFS Sri Lanka, Jayanta De Silva, and Deepa Suryarachi, who is the commissioner of the Sri Lanka Inventors Commission. Then we move on to the topic of conquering new markets. In order for you to innovate and grow, you obviously have to conquer new markets and go beyond borders. For that, we have a speaker, Samantha Kumarasinghe, who will share his experiences, to be supported by the two panelists, Shyamali Vikramasinghe and Mr. Dinesh Saparamadu. Then we move on to a segment or a session on creative social networking.
Okay.
We have seen in the recent past the social networking platforms have been used in a very innovative manner to go out with their products and services. So to talk on this, we have Dr. Hardun, who is David Hardun, who is coming all the way from Singapore, and to be supported to support that topic locally, we have Rohan Jayavira and Bimotad. That will end the first day of our technical sessions, and then we move on to Saturday. Saturday morning, we will talk about managing risks in innovation. Like with any venture, when you innovate, you would face with risks.
Yes.
How would you best manage your risks in innovation space? We are going to talk about on Saturday morning. For that, we have Adrian Pereira, who will be the speaker, and to be supported by Ms. Deepthi Vikramasuriya, and we have also Mr. Krishan Balendra, who is joining in the panel. Then finally, we will have a discussion forum like in any other year. We have had successful discussion forums with 5 panelists on service innovation. It's not only in the goods sector, but also in the service sector. The services are innovating. The way in which people provide services innovate. So to manage this session, we have Asitu Talwata, who will be moderating, and we will have Mr. Hiran Kure, Mr. Dushan Sosa, then we will have Dr. Parakrama Disanayaka, and we will have Mr. Riza Zaruk and Ms. Manohari Abesekara joining the panel discussion. So in addition to this, we have a lot of things lined up for people who are going to be participating. A lot of innovation and innovative stuff to look forward to. So I'm
sure there's a lot of observation and also participation involved when it comes to the sessions.
Absolutely.
Yes, of course. Right, so when we speak about this topic of innovation, do you think that it is being addressed already in Sri Lanka? Do you find that the corporations here in Sri Lanka are looking towards innovation and they're sort of taking up the bat and facing the challenge? In your opinion,
Yeah. If a company or a corporate to become competitive, I think they need to look for innovative products and methods in this world, because we are no longer limited to the country itself. I mean, it's a world competition comes here as
Yes,
well.
Definitely.
So I'm sure all the companies know this, so they are into big way the large groups. Even small timers, they have to be in line, otherwise they'll be very soon out of business.
And when it comes to innovation, people like entrepreneurs, I think, take a lead there when it comes to starting up small and then making the ideas come true in a big way.
Yes.
And that's a trend that has been apparent in Sri Lanka for the past few years, I think. So do you think that people like that, even people who want to start up their businesses, or they just have the seed, they have the idea, but they haven't gone forward with the rest of it, what can they benefit from attending the conference as well?
Yes, I'm sure they will benefit, because there is this panel of speakers that we have selected, and the panelists we have selected. Particularly, we briefed them. We had, a lot of planning had gone into this session,
yes.
conference.
Definitely.
We started way back in March this year,
Okay.
lining up the theme, having several discussions and deliberations as to what kind of subtopics that we are going to touch upon.
Okay.
Providing a brief, doing a brief, having meetings with speakers, telling them what we really want. And one of the points that we have emphasized fairly well in our briefs were for them to share their practical experiences.
All right.
How, in their opinion, or rather in their practical experience, they have experienced on innovation. What are the issues at a policy level, at a government level, at an entrepreneur level, and as a management? What are the issues they are facing, and what kind of changes you should bring about in order for you to create that conducive environment. So with this conference, we hope the message that we are going to deliver to the entire accounting fraternity as well as the Sri Lankan business community is going to be very vital.
Of course. And I think once you go through the topics of the sessions, you can definitely see that.
Yes, definitely. All the sessions actually, I was just wondering whether every session has a feedback segment in it as well, so that the participants can give their ideas, especially if they are not from the area of accountancy. Do you actually give a chance, an opportunity for people who are not in the area of chartered accountancy to be absorbed as a participant?
Yes,
into
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
conference?
we did a lot of publicity in the run-up to the conference.
All right.
And as part of that, we have invited members and non-members alike.
Okay.
We have given them the opportunity, and we have been doing this for quite some time.
All right.
So it's a fairly open and wide forum that we are providing for people to come and participate. And we had a press conference where we invited the press to come and sort of question us on how this topic is going to be, how relevant it is going to be, not only for accountants but also for the Sri Lankan business community.
Because since I actually posed that question, because there must be people out there, especially youngsters out there, like Amai mentioned, people who want to be entrepreneurs, must be wondering what kind of basic idea they should have about the conference before they apply to be a participant. That was why the question was raised.
Yeah. So in terms of educating people about the conference, we have just before sort of doing the advertisements on the conference itself, on the topic, we had the press conference, and we had a lot of press articles that is giving wider coverage to everybody in Sri Lanka about this topic and what we are going to deliberate at the conference. So if people have read newspapers, heard news or seen news,
not living under a rock. You would know about this conference.
So they would have actually come to know about the conference. They would have reached out to the Institute for questions, queries, about the registration process, and I'm sure quite a handful of those people would have got themselves registered
Of course.
well in advance, which is why we had to close the
Close the
registrations last week, unfortunately.
But that doesn't mean that you can't be part of the conference. You can always join the live webcasting, which will be happening,
right.
and all you have to do is go to the website of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, and you will find all the details there. And this is open for members as well as non-members.
Non-members.
I think we have to make that point very clear. But let's talk about some of the topics that you've chosen for these sessions. Now, what really interests me is this topic of creative social networking.
Yes,
And
I was also striking over there, yeah.
because social networking is something that has grown in leaps and bounds, and now it's just become part and parcel of all our lives.
Everything.
Of course, it has. And when you talk about applying this to the business model, though, we find that again maybe many issues crop up. So, what is the thought process behind including this particular topic as a separate session as part of the conference?
Actually, the reason why we thought creative social networking as a topic in Innovate to Grow is that people are increasingly using these social network platforms as a way and means of getting to another set of people
Yes.
with different mindset, different ideas, different thinking.
Innovation.
Very, very different. So you come up with innovative ideas,
Yes.
innovative ways of capturing those people, drawing their attention, and making use of that platform for you to grow.
True.
So in that context, of course it has its own challenges as well, but in that context it is only relevant that if you bring that topic as a relevant topic into your conference. Otherwise you're going to be out of place very soon.
That's true.
So I mean, if you really look at the internet penetration and the exponential growth you have in the social media networks is phenomenal.
Yeah,
So
what I
you need
personally feel is that if Sri Lanka did not initiate in such a important discussion on this topic, I think we'll be lagging behind. Because
Yes.
there's so much of discussion out there outside the world, which is actually going beyond what we can think or perceive right now. So I'm very honored and glad that there's something like this going on during the CA
you see,
conference.
the good old days when we started our conference way back 34 years ago, we had a very formal communication going by post to the members, inviting them to register for the conference.
Whereas now,
just after the press conference, there you go with an email notification to members, and from the next day onwards, all the registration starts rolling in.
yes,
So you see a lot of change in the way people have done things in the past. So without talking about the advancement in the social media and the way people, you go to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, people comment on the conference.
yes,
People say, I have registered for this, and the topics are going to be very nice, and we like it. So that sort of comments are coming. So there is a lot of interactions and a lot of things that are happening in that space, which we cannot forget.
Of course, and which is not forgotten at all. Actually, it's going to be addressed in one complete session at the 34th National Conference. So, Mr. Vikram Singh, if I could ask you, what's going to be extremely special about the conference this year, compared to all of the 33 others that have been held?